All right, here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
All right, guys. Showtime.
Hey, guys. Showtime.
All right, showtime.
All right, showtime.
Hey, showtime.
Showtime, kid.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
It's showtime. Let's kick some ass.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.
Greetings, true believers. Welcome back into the fastest show in sports. I am the host and ringmaster, Ed Berliner. I am joined once again by, from the New York Times, ESPN, the Washington Post, and the only individual who will admit that during the MTV Music Awards the other night, he actually was in his chair rooting ever so vociferously for Doja Cat, because he's actually the only white guy in America that does actually know who Doja Cat is and roots for Doja Cat. He is Mike Wise. Have you learned yet to do any pantomime or any good Doja Cat music is the key? Have you learned to bring it to life, Mike?
Yeah, I have. Doja, look, I don't know what you think, but if things don't work out with me and my wife, a guy like me and Doja, we could do some damage. I'm a dog, she's a cat. No, I'm kidding. I don't.
Does your wife even know that you make these kind of jokes? And if she knew you make these kind of jokes, would you live long?
No, I think she's perfect. I think she's trying to get rid of me, to be honest, Ed. And that's a separate podcast. It's like kind of a pre-Dateline thing, where you find out she's Googling arsenic and all that kind of stuff, and then next thing you know, there was, what's that scary looking guy that looks like he crawled out of the crypt, Keith Morrison on NBC.
Oh yeah, the guy who did what was it, Dateline? No, he did
Dateline.
Did he do Dateline or did he do the Predator series? Dateline, I think. No, you're right. Yeah,
Dateline. Yeah, and he's just frightening guy. And to be honest, and I don't think I'm breaking news here, I think he kills some of these people for the episode and just shows up in the town a few weeks later and says, "Hey, we've got a Dateline." All right.
Well, I think it's most people don't want to talk about it out loud. Is that a lot of the illegitimate news networks and the secondary news networks probably do plant a lot of these bodies across America just to go ahead and make sure they build the ratings up. Of course, we can't say their names out loud because if we did, then they'd get their attorneys on us. But I think everybody knows, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, who it is. We don't have to go there. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there as usual. Let's go ahead and start out in the National Football League. The Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, would you not agree with me that just on the surface, very briefly, before we dig into this, that these are the two best teams in the National Football League? And if you had a chance, I'd want to see the Bills and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. That would be a better game than anything we could have right now. Can't think of one.
Well, it's early. It's opening
week.
That's a major that's called Overreaction Monday in
most. Of course it is.
On most shows, and that was
Overreaction
way over
Tuesday.
the top.
There you go.
But I will say this: neither one looked like they got much of a defense. They both played brilliantly. It was one of the great comebacks that I remember in the regular season ever. 15 points down. There was like 3 minutes left or 4 minutes left. And, and the funny thing was Bills Mafia went home, a lot of them.
They were bailing. I mean, here I am, Mike, I'm on the other side. I'm on the couch watching this game, and I'm going, don't go. Don't go. Right. It's the National Football League. Come on, anything can happen. And with the kind of money that people have to pay to go to sporting events these days, I'm sitting in that seat until the last second. I don't care if it's 1-0 or 10-0.
Wow.
I'm sitting in those seats, baby. Every time.
Buffalo's a nice community. There are probably some families that wanted to get their kids to school in the morning, so I get it. But what I didn't get was the unruly fan behavior. I didn't see that coming at an NFL game, Ed, ever.
No, Mike, we never would have seen that coming, despite the fact that, as I mentioned last week during our picks, the reason why I pick against Buffalo a lot of times is because when I was there covering the Miami Dolphins, and I went with the team to Buffalo, not once, but twice this happened, where I was with the team on the team bus. We came in, and when we left, the buses were pelted with beer bottles, beer cans, everything they could possibly find. But that's being a fan, Mike. I mean, whether it's 1970 or 2025, we have people who just love to go to games and be as stupid as humanly possible, most times because they're lit. I mean, come on, in a place like Buffalo, you spend 8 hours at a tailgate party where you're out there where sometimes it's 8 degrees below zero. You're drinking everything. You're putting sterno in your body at that point. And then you come in and get lubed up on $25 beers. Come on, it's the way of American sport. Well, no, wait, I can't say it's the way of sports, because if you go to a soccer game overseas, it's 10 times worse.
There was a soccer game in Panama last night, CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. Panama, Guatemala. It ended up in a tie. Nobody shoved a player. Nobody did. I think American sports fans are some of the worst. And let's be honest. What is it? This is my serious question. What does the price of a ticket entitle you to?
Very good
Like,
point.
what does it entitle you to? You could call a guy a bum. I know that we're in a society now where we'd rather denigrate than celebrate the people around us, including politicians and our sports fans. Some people go to games to root against the other guy more than their own team. But this is a knucklehead kid that shoves DeAndre Hopkins, and then he shoves Lamar Jackson.
Well, let's go ahead and bring that to it, because in case you
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet, people have not seen it. This is what happened in the game. Look inside the circle right there, and you see the guy in the red shirt reaches out and goes after helmets, and Lamar Jackson was the second. And Jackson reacted. Mike, I got news for you. I have no qualms whatsoever with what Jackson did. I don't want him punished. I don't want him suspended. I don't want him fined. Because if you're going to have these knucklehead morons who are going to come out, and you don't know what that guy's got in his hands. You have no idea of knowing what he's got, what he's pushing towards you. And there's a lot of people out there who would do damage, who would look to create a crime against these players. So if a guy jumps out like that and says something, hey, I'm all for Lamar Jackson, baby. As a matter of fact, go ahead and jump in the stands and go get him and beat the living snot out of him, and I'll give you an extra bonus.
I don't know if I don't advocate players going into the stands. You don't want a situation.
Come on,
like
you know I'm
did.
being facetious.
No, I don't, Ed. I think you're a violent person, and I think I look. There was a moment when I was covering the NBA. I remember it was at the end of Charles Barkley's career. He might have been playing for Houston or something. He was ring chasing somewhere where but he was just tired of it all. And somebody was just just ragging on Barkley, saying, I think it was like Houston versus Utah or something. And I was covering the game, doing some feature on Karl Malone or something, and I remember a fan just going, Malone's kicking your ass, Barkley. Malone's kicking your ass, Malone. And he just kept riding him. And so finally, Charles was on the bench, and it must have been the last year of his career or something. And it was in Utah, and he turned around and looked at it, and he goes, you know what? That might be true, but I'm going to kick your ass. And he gets off the bench and starts going toward the van, and all these security guards had to restrain him. I was like, oh, I would have loved to seen that guy go down.
But you just brought this up too. We seem to be living in an era where, and again, we can't just say it's in America, because a lot of international soccer events, a lot of those local events, we see amazing levels of violence.
Yeah.
But we've reached a point where the fan believes that if I buy a ticket, I can scream, I can holler, I can say you suck, I can go after your mother, your father, your children, I can verbally insult you however I want. I can go right to the point. No, they do. They believe
nothing is off limits.
Well, that's just it. Nothing is off limits. But at this point, why are we shocked about it? Because as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, when you go to a lot of these games, like football, let's just take college football and pro football. You're out in those lots getting lubed up for hours before the game, to the point where you couldn't drive home. You're so intoxicated. Then they come in, they have no level of beers or alcohol they can buy to a certain point. They can keep going and hopscotching from kiosk to bar, and they can continue to load themselves up. These people are drunk as shit. I mean, and not only that, but the teams want them drunk. That's why they sell them all this alcohol, Mike. They make a huge fortune on it. So we shouldn't be surprised at all that they want to slam out and slap at the players, which is why if a guy goes out and goes after a player like Jackson, I have no problem with his retaliation. None at all.
Well, they do have security guards though.
Well, but the
Like
guards can't take care of everything.
every team has security guards every time. What he did wasn't egregious. He didn't go in the stands and punch the guy. Basically, get off me. I didn't have any real problem with it either. He might if he faces a fine because of some clause in which a player can't go after a fan in the stands. I can't imagine Goodell bringing down the law on this. But they did ban the guy. I think they banned the fan from any further NFL games anywhere.
Right. Any further NFL stadium, Super Bowl, NFL sponsored activity, he's banned now. Frankly, I'd ban this guy for life. I'd never let him inside a stadium again in his life, but I don't know if they have the legal right to do that.
Well, I want to say I saw a video with him. Maybe it was a parody video, but I thought I saw a video of him almost apologizing and then getting emotional, saying he loves Josh Allen, and it looked real. The whole thing looked real. But I get it.
Mike.
Like you don't. Yeah, there's just some things you don't do.
But that's probably part of it too. It's that adulation that they have for fans. Oh, it's my team. It's the Buffalo Bills. You're beating my team. I'm going to snap back at you. Will you people shut up and sit back in the seats and just enjoy the game? You're not there to be. You're not the show.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. I don't know about you, but from a broadcasting standpoint, it was the first thing I learned when I was doing games. You're not the show. Right. And as the fans, you're not the show. But I believe they think they are the show.
I think some of them do, and I think it's like a moment to impress your guys or whatever. I get it. I get all the temptations, and you're that close to somebody. You got a ticket right down by the field. You don't put your hands on anybody. You just don't put your hands on anybody, and if you do, you suffer the consequences. And the consequences for him was not just getting shoved by Lamar Jackson, but now he's not going to go. He's not going to see his beloved Bills win a Super Bowl this year.
Well, I had
win
this
the
conversation
AFC title game
with a friend of mine years ago, and I think it's coming true. Because fans think they're part of the action and they can get away with anything. Look, in the National Hockey League, the fans can't get on the ice because they're separated with glass panes. And that's mostly for their safety because of the speed a hockey puck travels. You would prefer that it doesn't wind up in somebody's jawline. But, Mike, I think we're getting to a point where sooner or later, in football stadiums, you're going to have to put up some kind of barriers because people can jump the barriers. You see a lot of this happen when they celebrate and they go on the field after the games. But if you have a barrier there that stops people, you can still see the game, but you cannot get to the playing field. I not only think it's inevitable, I think it's a smart thing to do.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to. Yeah, the people will. Why would you? Why would you even buy a ticket if you can't get close? If you can't see unobstructed, you're not at a hockey game. You're not worried about a puck hitting you in the face.
It is unobstructed. It's through a pane of glass. You can see right
it's not
through
the same. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Everybody would start ordering the tickets right above the pane of glass, and the pane of, and the people below. It's no good.
Well, I'm not saying it's a great idea, but what I'm saying is we live in a society where usually we take these actions after something happens. Now, here's a guy who reaches out, slaps a couple of helmets, but in the
it's not enough
ridiculous item that somebody's got something that becomes a violent act.
Okay, that's different, Ed. Ed, if there was a Green Bay Packer at Lambeau Field that jumped into the stands and does the whole thing with the fans, right? Well, until one of the opposing guys dresses up as a Green Bay Packer fan and he's got a shiv and he's like, and then what's his name comes out of the all of a sudden the quarterback comes out of there and he's just he's a bloody mess. Okay, then you put the barrier up. Not until then, Ed.
Well, but that's
I
exactly what I'm saying. We usually react
you're
when
trying to be
something happens.
you're trying to be proactive. You're ruining a fan experience.
Oh,
You
that won't make it won't make a bit of difference. Won't make a bit of difference. The fans will still pay whatever they
hockey has
can.
brainwashed you.
No, it hasn't brainwashed me. I'm looking at safety and what goes on in stadiums these days with these nut jobs. And speaking of stadiums and nut jobs, that takes us then to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This one, and here it is again. People who get jacked up, lubed up, alcoholed up, and all they want to do is fight. I mean, it's ridiculous. Here it is in the nosebleed seats. There's the boyfriend, and the woman you see right there next to him. You'll see it eventually where she comes out of this scrum. Now, she got into it, a couple of Rams fans got into it with her over sightlines. So they started punching each other. Now, remember the guy who just took his jersey off, because that's interesting as well. But watch her as she comes up the stands and look at her face. She's a bloody mess. I mean, this is not a football game. This has turned into an assault. She got blood all over her hand, her face, and there's actually some people there.
The guy hit. She got into a fist fight with the guy.
No, she got into. It was the guys who were there, but it was a woman who allegedly punched her. We're still hearing all kinds of stories here, but it was apparently a woman who punched her and started the fight, and then the guys got involved. Now, the guy taking his Rams jersey off right there, he's taking his jersey off so they can't identify him. Guaranteed. That's something where he's trying to hide from security.
So now you've gone to a completely different level. These people, one, the worst thing you can do is bring your significant other, and your significant other gets you into a fight. That's a person
that
who's
didn't
a bad.
happen here.
You picked. I know, but I'm just saying that's a situation that happens often. Your
Right.
picker's broken. You need to pick a different person, whether it's a guy either or a woman. Two, well, this is why I would never. This is why I wouldn't take my kid to an NFL game, unless he was in a box. There's enough violence on the streets to seeing this. I mean, fact that there's people who walk into bathrooms and don't come out of the bathroom until after they've been knocked unconscious during a fight in the bathroom, like a guy's bathrooms. Happens a few times a season in the NFL. Nobody really knows about it, but they all show up as assaults in the stadium log. It's an awful thing. There's all kinds of this board
Mike,
behavior.
that's the problem we're
But
into
that
right
doesn't
now.
have anything to do with we're a
This is
sick
a game.
society. We're a sick society. Philadelphia
Yes,
is.
we are.
They beat a guy to death in Philadelphia about 15 years ago, outside veterans, outside the old stadium.
It's Veterans
I'm sorry,
Stadium,
was
yeah.
it?
Or
Yeah,
was it
outside the
Lincoln
old
Field?
stadium. It's just, I think 49ers beat some fan. The 49er fans beat somebody to death
Well,
almost, or
but
put
we've
him in a
also had
coma.
in baseball, we've had Dodgers and Giants fans get together in Los Angeles.
Right.
And it was a couple of years ago where they almost beat the guy to death because he was a Giants fan wearing a Giants jersey. I mean, this is just sports, for crying out loud. This is a game. But we have people who take it so seriously because they're so mentally unhinged that they have to think that it becomes important to beat the crap out of somebody simply because you beat us in a game or you scored a touchdown. But the point is, Mike, what do you do about it? I mean, it's got to be 9 times out of 10, this is an alcohol-fueled idiocy that goes on here at games. But the teams will never stop selling alcohol because they make huge amounts of money on it. And they always get lubed up before and after the game. So what do you do to make it safe?
I don't know if they are going to be totally safe. You're always going to have a percentage of knuckleheads. We live in a UFC society.
That's a good way to put it.
This is chin strap America. And chin strap America is you put your chin strap on and you hit somebody, and if you're not in the game, you still hit somebody.
Well, that's
what we do.
We have fans who think they're in the game. I mean, that's just it. They believe they go to the game. They wear the replica jerseys. They wear the replica hats. They come in and they face paint themselves looking like a bad Kiss band. And they believe that they actually are part of the game. I am part of the team. I am the 12th man. I'm the big gunner here who's going to make sure to get part of this. No, you're not. George Carlin said it best. I love it when we get a chance to go back to Carlin because he had it so perfectly with everything he said. He talked about this whole thing where it started with the television commercials that used to be the battery on Robert Conrad's shoulder where he would challenge people to knock it off.
I dare you to knock it off.
And then there were the ones that always talked about lead, follow, or get out of the way. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And Carlin said, I obstruct. And then, and that's exactly, it was this macho bullshit that we've been fed, and it still exists in society today.
No, it's growing, Ed. It's growing. What do you think
Probably.
the manosphere is?
No, you're right.
It's about going to UFC fights. It's about Dana White welcoming home the Tate brothers, guys who are going to be on trial for sexual trafficking women to other countries to have sex with them and be slaves. This is our society, Ed.
Yes.
We are a sick, demented society. It's why there is political violence. It's why there's fan violence. You're right. Everybody's got to pick a team, pick a side right now. The one thing that I think would really be helpful if you wanted to curb some of this is if you got some of the players on opposite teams, the rivalry teams, and did commercials and like, you know, we go toe to toe for whatever 60 minutes on Sunday, but after that, you know, we'll go to dinner.
I don't think it'd make a difference. Wouldn't make.
But you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how depressed the psycho fan would be to see the players meeting up in the locker rooms afterwards and on opposing teams and discussing dinner plans, you know, and so their wives can meet each other. You'd be disgusted if you went to a party that I used to go to annually in Washington. George Will, the conservative columnist, would put it on with the owners of the Nationals, the Lerner family, and they would call it opening day party, and it would be this high society, you know, English tea sandwiches, every kind of appetizer, crab, like, and I don't know why I got invited just because I was a sports columnist, but there would be like Donna Brazile, the Democratic strategist, you know, having fun with Kayleigh McEnany or somebody in the back, and I'm going, wait, you guys hate each other, right? You guys,
that doesn't
no,
happen
it's all a show. It's all a big show.
It's all a conflict, Mike, no matter what it is, whether it's in politics, our daily life, or especially sports. Because we have that attitude that we're going to beat the snot out of you, man. That's what we're going to do. We're going to just beat the shit out of you and do whatever we can because that's our team. Go ahead, wear the shirt and do all this nonsense that goes out there. But again, what you're talking about is how to get ahead of this. I don't think, you know, my idea to get ahead of it was you have to have better security. You have to figure that out. Your idea is to have the players basically come out and say something to the fans. I don't think any of it would make any difference whatsoever. Probably. The jerk, idiot, knucklehead, circus clown, pinhead that has got to come out there and do something insane just to be part of the game, I think he or she is going to do it, and we can't stop him.
Now, can I have a confession real quick before we wrap this segment up? I almost got thrown out of an event. Sadly enough, it was at a lucha libre, a fake wrestling event in Mexico City. And, you know, I bought the mask and everything, and I took my kids, and it was probably my third lucha libre event. And the bad guy, whatever the bad wrestler was, he was yelling at everybody in Spanish in the stands. I wasn't sure what he was saying, but we had really good seats, and I had my Mexican flag tied around my neck and my lucha libre face on. And I got up and started walking toward the thing, started saying stuff to him. And I guess you can say anything you want and do anything you want. You just can't leave your seat, because I was accosted by security guards who told me they will throw me out if I get any closer to the ring. But there's a video of me walking toward the ring menacingly, Ed.
But why did you do that?
I'm not proud about it.
Why did you do that?
I'm not proud. What?
Why did you do that?
It was because I thought I would make my kids laugh.
Okay.
Instead, my daughter, my 7-year-old's going, "Dad, don't do it! Don't do
it!" When your 7-year-old becomes smarter than you have to figure out that you're doing something wrong. But again, that's
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video.
I'd love to see it. I mean, we have this attitude that fans believe they need to be part of the game. They bought into this 12th man nonsense. You can
Yeah.
scream, you can holler, you can cheer, you can boo, do whatever you want. But the minute you try to start becoming part of the game physically with any kind of violence, you're out. That's it. You're banned. Period. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see, for instance, what happened in Buffalo, where, and again, they don't have an NBA team there, but I'd like to see every one of the pro sports and at that point say, you want to do this here? You're not going to do it here. NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, National Football League, you're out. Permanent ban.
Every game?
Every game, every team, toss them. It's the only way to clean it up.
Or you could have like a little octagon inside every arena. Dana White could partner with the leagues, the respective leagues, and basically fans could get in during the game and fight other fans.
Don't give him any ideas.
You like it?
That thing will be started before. By the time we end the show, White will have a contract signed to create the new octagon.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I can't stand
anybody
the sport,
anybody could be in the octagon. You could be. You just have to get like a little. You should have to show them a recent physical, and it doesn't matter if you're slovenly and gross like me, or fit and tan and all
like
your
me.
hair like you. You can get in.
Not going to happen. God, I hope not. Moving on. All right. The Miami Dolphins are the single biggest dumpster fire in the National Football League this year, and they proved it with their game against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Dolphins fans who have been watching this mess unfold now for 20 years since his team has won a playoff game, just listening to head coach Mike McDaniel after the game, and I swear, Mike, you got to pay attention here, because I can see every fan sitting there going, what did he say?
In the National Football League, when you're -3 plus turnover on downs, you run into the kicker, you across the board, that's not a formula. And so that formula is for failure and nothing else. And I think, there was a lot of preparation for week 1, and I don't think it looked it. What does that mean? That means that guys let week 1 and the bells and whistles of the season starting get the best of them. My job is to prevent that. I did my best, not good enough. So you have 2 games in 11 days, and that's what you do with it. The National Football League teaches tough lessons. I think we're a much better team than we played today, or than we displayed today, but that doesn't matter either. You have to play good football. So when you play bad football, you have 20 minutes less of time of possession. You don't take the ball away. You don't put them in the offense in negative situations. You don't take care of the ball. It's a young team having to learn some very hard lessons, and that's what the league's about.
Mike McDaniel looks like the guy who failed to get on the cast of The Big Bang Theory. I mean,
Ed, we just lost all our audience. That clip could have been half as long. Look, when I started getting into broadcasting and doing some whatever, whether I was doing amateur stand-up comedy, whether I was speaking into a microphone on any level, even when I was in, I think, persuasive speech class in like college, you'd have to give a persuasive speech about something. The first thing they criticized was my you-knows and ums. I got a lot of you-knows and ums. You're an NFL coach. You've got more you-knows and ums than the video coordinator. He looked like the equipment manager. He looked like the equipment manager had been sent to do the press conference. And I don't want to be a complete asinine. You got to be a tough guy. You got to be a real football coach. But I tell you what.
No, but that was embarrassing.
I mean, that was embarrassing. Mike McDaniel just seems to have the personality of a 3-minute egg. I can't get it.
He's got the personality of a nerd, some people would say, which is interesting.
Well, that's fine.
Which is interesting.
That's fine. There were a lot of cerebral people that won football games, but this guy, I don't know.
Because I use the word nerd in there, and guess what? Rex Ryan said exactly the same thing.
You were reacting strongly when Mike McDaniel was talking there. What were you reacting?
Yeah, what the hell's he talking about? You know, maybe he's on a different level, McGenius guy, whatever the hell he is, nerd boy. But anyway, their team has no respect for the coach. They play like that. They're like, come on, man, get us a dang guy in here. Where's the physicality of this team? What did you say?
They're soft. They're soft.
They're soft. Like,
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. Every part of their football team. They have tons of talent on this team. Daniel, we were talking, that's why you picked them to win? Because they have tons of talent. Yeah. They don't play with any passion or any smoke to them.
Their tape was a mess. A mess. And you could blame everybody.
I mean, there are people already going after Rex Ryan, and you could see the one guy on the desk was shaking his head as soon as Ryan called him nerd boy. You got people now who are going all after Rex Ryan. How dare you insult him that way? But wait a minute. I mean, I get why he's doing it, although Rex Ryan is the last guy that I would turn to for anything logical. He's a crappy coach to begin with, and he's just a hanger-on because he's one of these tough guys who gets out there and goes, let's get out there, snort, and let's go ahead and knock the battery off Robert Conrad's shoulder kind of guy. But he's, in essence, correct. I mean, this team is adrift. They're out there with no leadership whatsoever. The players obviously don't respect McDaniel or the coaching staff. That was the single worst complete game I've seen in the National Football League, Mike, in years. They got nothing right. If you're a Dolphins fan right now, you're basically heading to buy your tickets to go see the Miami Hurricanes play for the rest of the season. It's the only way you're going to get to see football in South Florida.
I'm not going to defend Mike McDaniel, but I found that clip that we put up on the account of a Miami Herald longtime reporter, Barry Jackson. And Barry Jackson is kind of, he would admit, a nebbish kind of guy. He's not.
Yes, he is.
He's very cerebral himself. And I think he probably was offended when he probably has a decent relationship with Mike McDaniel, somebody who covers the team. And when he hears nerd boy, it kind of it strikes a chord. And here's the deal. You don't have to be personal or anything. Like, I don't, who knows how much he motivates that team or not. They played poorly. He looked poorly in front of a microphone. I will say this: Rex Ryan's worse at his job than Mike McDaniel is at his. Rex Ryan is the son of the greatest defensive coordinator in the history of the National Football League that won the Chicago Bears the 1986 Super Bowl. Mike Ditka was pretty much the figurehead. And I'll tell you what, I will tell you what, right now, Rex Ryan wants to do the chin strap nation. I'm a tough guy. You don't know how to coach.
But that's
you got Mike McDaniel has one way to do that. He prepare his team the right way and come out and win football games. If he can't do that, then Rex Ryan and everybody who says that he has the personality of a washcloth, he's free game. So all right. So I if I'm the owner, who I don't like either, is it still Roth's?
Geez, you're getting into a whole other side of these things. But get to Stephen Roth.
Like if I'm that guy, and like I give McDaniel maybe 4 more. I give him the quarter mark of the season, 4 games.
Well, what they'll probably do is they'll get to the bye week,
or almost 5 games now.
It's anymore. It's always the bye week is when this stuff happens. But Stephen Ross is part of the problem because he not only put Mike McDaniel there, he put Chris Greer in there, the general manager, who's been there and had 0 success in the playoffs. Look, as I said, this team hasn't won a playoff game since 2000. They've been in 2 of them under McDaniel. One they lost by 3. A second one they got blown out. They've not looked good. Those were wild card playoff games. So he really hasn't delivered. Look, in the National Football League, Mike, you'll agree with me on this. The idea is not to go 10-7 every season. The idea is to get in the playoffs, win in the playoffs, win the Super Bowl. You win 10 games, nobody gives a crap. You got to get out there and win. And McDaniel hasn't done it. He's lost the team. He's got a quarterback right now that is 1 concussion away from basically being a living vegetable. You've also got Tyreek Hill there, who just can't wait to piss somebody off because he's got an ego bigger than the stadium itself. And you got a fan base that's sick and tired of the bullshit because they simply just want to see a competitive team. And they're not getting one. And Ross is the guy who put him there. Ross is the guy who's worth billions of dollars, and he's the one that cost this team 2 draft picks because he tampered during the Tom Brady issue. And basically, the National Football League had to come down and hammer down on him. That's an
owner.
owner.
And he didn't even get Tom Brady, you idiot.
Didn't get Brady, and what did he get for it? He got some talent, but not much at all. This is the single, and this is, again, hyperbolic indeed. I'll go with you if you want to call me on this. But this is the worst run franchise in the National Football League right now. They're worse than even the Cleveland Browns, who at least are trying to do something, and worse than the Raiders, whom I can't stand, or even the New York Jets. This is the Dolphins. This is a team that's supposed to be good, Mike. They suck. And I mean, there's nothing that can cloud it whatsoever, that can cover it up.
Who do they got? Who do they got this week?
I haven't even looked at the schedule. I'll have to
salvation in the NFL is always
1 game
4 or
away.
5 days away. So, like if they were 1-1 this time next week, he's not a topic right now.
Well,
so
no, I think he probably still is a topic, because we're going to find out what team is the real team here. And if you got all summer long to prepare, and he even said it where he talked about failure, if you've got that long to prepare and you come out of the box in the first game of the year and you look that bad, that's a coaching issue. The coaches are there that didn't prepare this team. The players didn't give a crap what the coaches told them. They came out and they were soft. It's exactly right. They were soft. And even if they win big in the next game, everybody's going to be worrying about when this team implodes again.
I'll tell you what's soft right now is my desire to do the rest of this show with you, you hateful Dolphins fan. You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so bad. Well, let me just go ahead and point out that Mike McDaniel, in case he does lose his job, there is already a discussion as to where Mike may wind up next. And it is a possibility that Best Buy could be hiring. We don't know, but we also don't know if Mike knows a lot about cell phones, because he knows about coaching, but he doesn't, well, some of that. So
yeah, it's just cruel. That's just cruel and unusual punishment, Ed.
Why? At least it's harmless. At least they're not getting out of a seat to try to beat somebody up.
This is true.
It's at least minor on the small stuff here for what we do. Oh, by the well, no, I'm gonna do that a little bit later. I got to get the No, let's go ahead and do it now, because we do have to point out that Mike and I have started the illogical, irresponsible, completely undeniable best picking manner of games in the country. We don't pick on odds. We don't look at injury lists. We don't look at who's home and away. We don't
look at other handicappers.
We don't take anybody else for granted here. We don't think anybody else is better than us. We think we're the best. And we can prove it right now, because in week 1 of the National Football League this season, Mike and I came out, made our predictions with absolutely no technical expertise whatsoever, no statistics at work, no injuries at work, no great expertise whatsoever at work. And guess what? We're just as good as those guys, because I turned 9-6 on the first week and Mike goes 8-7. Now, we at least finished 500 without knowing a damn thing about what we were talking about, which means we're just as good as you are.
Yeah. I'm not going to brag on that, only because my best bets, Cincinnati over Cleveland. I picked them, but I picked the spread 5.5, and I obviously didn't hit it. And I took an L there. I took an L on the Steelers actually didn't cover, so I won that bet even though Aaron Rodgers won. And then I took an L on the Niners beating the Seahawks. So I was 1-2 in my best bets. I know those are the ones I actually want people to win money with.
Those are actual bets you made, and you made bets with those based on the line, correct?
Right, correct.
Right, yeah,
correct.
We didn't do these on the line. These were just straight picks.
Right. These are just straight picks. So yeah, I'll give ourselves credit for 8-7,
yes.
9-6. We'll take that. We'll take that. I think we'll do better next week. I really do.
Well, we will get a chance to go ahead and look at next week. Well, seeing as we're there, let's go ahead and make that pick now, because we come on Friday as the next show. So we're not going to be here for the Thursday game. So while we're here, let's go ahead. Mike, I'll give you the first one. The Thursday night matchup, the Washington Commanders against the Packers in Green Bay. Go for it.
Packers have got I believe they're a 3-point favorite here. This is anybody's game. I don't, Washington, I don't know if they have a sense of destiny this year about him. I think last year they did with the rookie quarterback, Jalen Daniels. But look, they got a new toy in Deebo Samuel, the former 49er scatback. And, he's a special player. And if he's healthy and Jalen Daniels healthy and that line is, boy, and that defense played pretty well. Only gave up 6 points against the Giants. I'm gonna take the Commanders. I'm gonna take the commies.
Wow, look at you going with stats and everything here, basically flying in the face of everything that gave us that first excellent week over 500 by going for what is logical instead of the illogical. Okay, I'll bite. I'll go for this. I take the Packers this week, and you know why? Because I have pretty much decided that I'm going to give up pork. I am no longer going to eat bacon. I'm no longer going to eat sausage because pigs are intelligent creatures and they deserve our courtesy, if you will. We need to stop somewhere, so I've decided no more pig, no more ham, no more bacon, and no more sausage, which is big in Green Bay because everything you have there has got a little pig on it somewhere. So the fact I'm going to stand up for the pigs in this one, say no more pig, no more meat there. And Washington, I give you credit, but because I'm going there, I will pick the Packers to win because I will start this movement right here and right now. No more pig. Packers win.
So this is going to be awful, Ed. I thought we were going to have to edit out this segment because when you started saying that you're giving up hot dog, you're giving up sausage, I thought you said you're giving up porn. And
No,
PORN, you're giving up PORK.
PORK, yes. I'm not
so you
giving
refuse
up.
to. So what you're saying is you refuse to give up
Not
porn.
that I actually entertain porn either. But you're making a hell of an assumption there. But I will just say that I am giving up pork, which is kind of difficult because I actually had pork last night. Lady Shannon didn't know it. But that's okay.
Clear.
That's okay. I'm still picking the Packers to come in this week. All right. We are talking about fans, and let's go ahead and move on with regard to everything else that's happening.
I think I hit a sensitive nerve there.
I don't think you did at all. I
do because you just hit
okay.
clear
What is the sensitive nerve?
You hit clear history on your phone. That's what you did.
I did not because I don't have to. I don't have to. I am not like you and some of the others. I do not entertain porn on my phone or on my home computer. I don't do it.
God bless you.
So you're right.
It's not that I want to be a evangelical and say that everything in moderation is fine. But if you've been married a long time and you're not going there, God bless you. We should have a marriage podcast.
Thank you. No, we're not going to. Well,
okay.
Hell, why not? If it sells, let's move. Moving on. The nation is gripped with Philly's Karen. We are still into this conversation because we don't know who she is. In case you haven't seen it, of course you probably have by now. The game at Miami. Here's a couple of different angles. The Phillies and the Marlins playing the home run ball. Harrison Bader hit it. And the gentleman gets the ball for his kid, comes over, and here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. The Phillies Karen. She's all over him. Now, Mike, I got to tell you, we've seen this all a million times. But you know what? I want to take that dad and I want to have a real serious talk with him. I came over and got the ball for my kid. She didn't get it. There it is again. He's bringing it over to his kid. And when she comes over to assail him, he puts his fists up on his chest. It's like he's afraid he's going to get hit. Are you kidding, lady? You can't have that baseball. My kid got it. I gave it to my kid, and I'm not giving up. He gave the ball up, Mike. I don't give that ball up. That's my. Look at him. It's like he's getting ready to fight her, for crying out loud, and he gives the ball back. It's bad enough that she gets in there and has this entitled nonsense that she gets the baseball, but I would not give that ball back. That belongs to my kid. Would you? If it was your son, would you give it back?
I don't know. He did it he didn't want to get punched in the face like But I look. If you look at this, that she's turned out to be public enemy number one, and once again, the Karens in the world that are good people.
And by the way, here's Harrison Bader after the game. That was the Marlins people who came up to him and they gave him a big gift bag. And here's Bader who come up afterwards and they got the kid, took him downstairs, and he signed a bat for him. So the kid made out like a bandit.
Yeah, it all looks great. It's nice optics. But if you really look at the video, the dad goes out of his way to run over there and get the ball. It's not anybody's ball, but she's right there. She's trying to grab down. I might have saw that she was getting it and grabbed the ball and gave it to her there. But when he's accosted, look when he's accosted, Ed. When she comes up to him, he acts like he's surprised by it. It's a total fake look. He knew that she was going to come by because he stole it from her.
He's a coward. He's a coward.
But look at him. Look at when she comes to accost him. He's got his back to her, and he has this surprised look, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." Who cares? They're both slimy. They're both slimy Philly fans. Okay.
No, what's wrong with him? Honest. I mean, he came over. Look, it's an unwritten rule in baseball. First of all, when a foul ball goes into the stands, if somebody's there to get it, they get it.
Oh my God! I'm accosted. Like, it's a fake reaction.
People fight for it all the time.
He knew he was in the wrong, and then she was psycho in the wrong. Started saying it's my ball. No, it's not. You got beat to it, lady. He could have been nice.
That's just
and
my point.
But the fact that you're a nasty person, why would anybody give you a ball?
Well, wait a minute. That's my whole point. It's a free for all.
I know all those games are free for alls.
Yes.
If it was another guy, Ed, if it was a guy my size, if it was a guy in his 20s, I would have been like, tough sucker. Some old lady, some lady that her whole life is dependent on getting a fight. Look, there is no right in this thing. They're both lousy people. And
why?
Especially the one, and especially
what makes him
the
a lousy
woman.
Person? Come on. He got the ball for his kid.
Woman.
Everybody, it's a free for all. Like I said, anybody can grab the foul balls.
Especially
the what makes him a bad guy?
Really? You want to get your kid a ball? Go to the fan shop, buy him one.
Well, but most people these days, when they catch foul balls or they find them, and we've seen a lot of instances where they give them to their kids. They give them to another kid somewhere. Hell, I caught a foul ball 1,000,000 years ago at Shea Stadium. It was the second one I ever caught a foul ball. And there was a kid who was sitting 4 seats away from me who didn't get a chance. I gave him the ball. And that goes back like 1,000,000 years ago. It's no big deal. It's a ball. Mike, it's a ball. People, back down for Christ's sake. This is ridiculous. Stop with the ridiculous knee jerking. It's just a hat. A hat. It's a hat.
Wait, Ed,
it's a ball.
Ed, that was wild. You hit some computer thing where I had a different shirt from another week. How did you do that? Just put it. Ed, this is great. Do it again. Let's do some AI, Ed.
That's my point. People, back down for Christ's sake. This is ridiculous. Stop with the ridiculous knee jerking. It's just a hat. A hat. And no one could hear a word you said because your mic was shut down as soon as I was doing it. But it's the same thing. It's a baseball. And she goes nuts. It's a hat at the U.S. Open.
Ed, if you start putting my image in from weeks ago, I don't have to even be here right now. And I can just shake your head and laugh at your jokes. This is awesome. It's AI. Oh, but anyway, that was hilarious.
Enough with all this. It's
a
ball. It's a ball. It's a baseball.
That's the clip from this week where I don't even show up for the show. You use but here's the thing. Like, I get it. Look, I think it's cool to get a ball. Look, when I used to go to opening day at the Nationals as the columnist, or one of the big games, or even the World Series when they had it there. And I would go in the dugout and I would ask the ball boy, whoever was the bat boy, I'd ask him for a couple balls. And I go, not for me. I'm just going to throw, And while they're in batting practice, I'd walk around and nobody knew I had a ball. And some kid would have his glove out looking at the players. And I'm like, you want a ball? And his dad was like, Oh my God, yeah. And I'd throw the kid a ball like 20 yards and he'd catch it with his mitt. And it was the biggest moment. And I was a hero. I like you say not to be part of the game. I felt like I was part of the game in that moment. I made a kid's day. I get all that. You got a ball for your kid. I get all that.
Look, we don't even know if she has any kids. I mean, look, she catches the foul ball and they see her going out of the ballpark and she's got it in a bag. She didn't come with kids. She came with what looked like to be her husband. We don't even know if she's got kids. I mean, this guy was doing the right thing, giving it to his kid. She was doing it because she's greedy and all she did is want a baseball. Anyway, she can get it. She'll take a baseball. It's just a baseball. Just a baseball. People, back down for Christ's sake. This is ridiculous. Stop with the ridiculous knee jerking. It's just a hat. A hat. It's going to become the mantra of this show from now on. It's just a hat. But the biggest part about this is they're still trying to figure out who this woman is. Nobody knows who she is yet. Everybody is guessing. You've got social media going crazy trying to figure out who she is, and she's got this, and she's here, and she's there. People are going that the most important thing in the world right now is we got to find out who this woman is. They're doing the best they can for it.
If you're watching the YouTube portion of this, this is the greatest segment of all time. My best friend just tried to call me on my phone. Peter LeBlanc he lives in California. He's in California now, but he's a New Bedfordian by birth, and he's Boston. You know, you love this guy because you could talk Boston sports with him forever.
Excellent.
And anyway, Pete LeBlanc calls me on my phone, and all of a sudden I go blank, and I have to reconnect. You know, I love these segments because you get to use the old me, and that the old me was better on this show. The new me sucks.
The old you was better in that clip because you were silent. But if we, you didn't say a word. Now, but wait. The big thing is everybody is, and it still even happened again today. Where the last time I checked social media before we did the show, people are crawling over themselves to find out who this woman is. Nobody knows who she is yet. Now, there was a big first hit that said that she worked for a school district in New Jersey. Somebody had identified her. Here's the Hamilton School District. The woman identified on social media as Philly's Karen is not and has never been an employee of the Hamilton Public Schools located in Hamilton, New Jersey. Social media and news reports indicating that she is are incorrect. Here's the best part. Anyone who works for our school district, attended as a student, or lives in our community would obviously have caught the ball barehanded in the first place, avoiding this entire situation.
I want their PR director right now. That is awesome.
Whoever wrote that is brilliant. And there was another woman that basically was identified by social media, and they said that this is Philly's Karen. She came out on her Facebook and said, okay, everyone, I'm not the crazy Philly mom, but I sure would love to be as thin as she is and move as fast. And I'm a Red Sox fan. So
in this world of facial recognition and digital stories live forever, and you're never forgotten online. They can't find out who this woman is.
They cannot find out who she is.
If I'm her, I leave the country now.
And there's a website. Wait a minute, hang on. I'm trying to see if I have it here. There's a website or somebody out there who has offered to give her $5,000. They have put out a note. They said, if you tell us who you are, you have to give us the baseball, sign it, and apologize on the baseball, and we'll give you $5,000. And nobody's picked it up. If I'm that woman right now, I'm out getting my hair done. I'm out getting it shaved and colored right away, because you could tell who she is with the brown and the gray that she had there. She just looks so. But beside all that,
look, Philly fans are nuts. I wouldn't be surprised if she used that video for her dating profile in Philly. They'll be like, hey, there's a strong woman. There's a woman who gets what she wants. Damn it.
Here's the best part of Philly's Karen. Social media has been on fire since this happened with all the various memes. Take, for instance, the collection that we have put together for you, our loyal viewers and listeners. Now, if you're listening, I'm sorry you can't see this on the YouTube channel. Cruella de Phil is one of
That's
my
good.
favorites. The Disney Pixar The Incredicaryn Quest for the Baseball. And the third picture on this, Mike, is Philly's Karen without her glasses on, flipping the bird to the camera. That's a real picture.
Right.
So that in of itself says that she's the type of person that we need to make fun of. More.
Well, there's another one where the Coldplay guy caught in the affair, the CEO of that big company, they have another meme of her like in his arms below him, and he's holding her instead of his human resources executive.
Which I didn't get because I got more. The Spirit Halloween costume with the Phillies jersey and the gray hair, that's classic. The Garbage Pail Kids with Ball Hog Brenda is a brilliant one put together, and they are actually going crazy on social media, putting this woman in connection with Lord of the Rings and my precious.
The ring
The ring is my precious with her Gollum. There's also the other Karen Ball Snatcher action. I love that. The Karen Ball Snatcher action figure might be one of the best. The baseball card with Karen Ball Snatcher. And Mike, to your point, here's one meme that I got just for you where it says, shocking, Philly sports fan acts like Philly sports fan.
That's good.
You were the one who came out and said that. Wait a minute. I got more. They're too good.
Jeez. Okay.
Anybody
just listening to this is missing out some good images.
So that's why they got to go to the YouTube channel and then look at this in the segment on this. Her and Gollum, villains of the MLB, an action figure, and Kevin Costner with the ball at the end of Field of Dreams, and Karen saying, "Wait, that's my ball. That's my ball." Now I was going to stop there, Mike. I had gotten
you want to have a catch, Dad?
I was going to stop because I figured, okay, that's enough. But this morning, as I'm getting ready for the show, there were 4 more that I had to grab because they were just too good. On the steps in Philadelphia with Rocky, the pretending to be with Indiana Jones and looking for the head that Indiana finds in the first movie.
Oh, right. The Adventure of Raiders of the Lost
Raiders
Ball.
of the Lost Ark. Her mouth filled with hot dogs and trying to steal hot dogs from a joint in Philly. And the best one is Philadelphia Karen, ball snatcher Karen, with a Frisbee in her mouth, stealing the ball from Air Bud. That, Mike, it's a whole cottage industry that we're into now with this.
If I were her, this is where I think I could be a life coach. If I were her, I would talk to.
Crap! Wait a minute. Mike Wise is a life coach. Holy shit! We have really crossed the Rubicon now.
Yeah. Get up late, miss your assignment. But no, I would tell her this. I would say, look, everybody's going to know who you are unless you get plastic surgery at some point. The best thing you could do is come out and say, I behaved boorishly. I want to give the ball back to the kid, even though he's got one from the Phillies. And and more than that, I want to be an example of what good fan behavior will be. But first, I'm going to need some money to go on these shows. I'm going to need I would just use it as a marketing moment. Yes, I am that fan, and my name's not Karen. It's Linda Savaroni or something from I don't know, where's a suburb in
Philly? From Conshohocken, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, wherever it is right now.
From Conshohocken, from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
There you go. But I mean, it's the smartest thing. On a serious note, this woman is going to be hounded now for the rest of her life thanks to social media. She'll never live this down. Somebody's going to find her. This is now, again, serious note. Somebody's going to find out who this woman is. They're going to out her on social media. And somebody or some people will do some really stupid shit. Somebody may actually get violent about this. Somebody may go to her house and wind up there at her home or her place of business, and she could lose her job because of this.
Well,
if she gets out there, it
the
could
worst.
happen.
I think. No, in Philly, the worst thing that could happen is you could ask her out.
Don't do that, man. I mean, carbonated water in the nostrils is just awesome. Well, but she's married.
Man.
But I guess she's married. It looked like she was with a guy there at the
She
game who
was?
looked like her husband. So, but
Oh, God.
I just
So now I want to be his life coach. You file for divorce, and you look like you look like the smartest guy in the world.
wait a minute. You file for divorce, and then you demand that in the divorce settlement you get the ball,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, you got it.
It's the easiest thing to do. But I just look and I'm sure she's got a million people that she's listening to, and people are, if she could ever hear this, honey, look, I've been around sports and PR for a long time. Just get out there and say, I did it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tell them who it is, because your life is never going to be the same. And not only that, when they do find out who she is, all these videos and all these memes are going to be recut with her name all over them. She's screwed, Mike. I mean, but again, she did it to herself.
If I were here, someone get a hold of Lauren Michaels and part of whoever's monologue it is on Saturday night live for the opener. They basically do this thing like we're out of control in this country. Did you guys see the Philly fan? She's at, no even know if she is. And then she just comes out of the audience and goes, "Hey, wait, that's my microphone."
Brilliant.
And oh my God, it would be tremendous.
Brilliant. I mean, that's
Yeah.
see, and not only that, but they'd laugh at her, but they'd laugh with her, and they'd say, okay, she's willing to take the heat a little bit and make fun of
Right.
herself, that they'll now forgive her. Mike?
Anybody in America will get a pass if you admit you're wrong and you can laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, that's one of Trump's whole problems. Other than the psychos he's got around him, he
One?
can't laugh at him. He can't laugh at himself. People who can laugh at themselves are 10 times more self-aware. Now, unlike me, where everybody laughs at me and not with me, it hurts and it's emotionally wounding. But that's another podcast, Ed.
We could do that right after the marriage podcast. As you're
Yeah.
giving life experiences in the marriage podcast, we can then go to people who make fun of you and how you can avoid it and how you can feel better about yourself. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice and quiet. We're going to leave you now on a quiet and happy note,
Affirming.
bringing you a
Life
little
affirming.
peace. Don't forget, if you want to catch us on the YouTube channel, go to The Fastest Show in Sports on YouTube. See everything. Experience it. Kick back. Be part of the wonder as to what this is. Or if you just prefer to listen, go to where you get your favorite podcasts. Search out The Fastest Show in Sports. Find us. Make us part of your day. Because at the end of the day, I think Mike will agree, we are here for you. We are here to make your day better. Is that correct, Mike?
There are no dues or fees for the fastest show in sports. And we come here and give our intimate feelings honestly and truthfully, and we don't judge anyone. And thank you for sharing, Ed. And well, I guess we'll see you back again next week.
There's no fees and no dues yet. So be part of it while it's still free. He's Mike Wise. I'm Ed Berliner. Kumbaya, everybody. Until we see you next time on The Fastest Show in Sports, rock on, true believers. See
That's all, folks.